Coach, 15-point lead with about 5 minutes to go. Just what, from your perspective, did you see down the stretch there?
Well, we just couldn't execute. We turned the ball over. We had a lot of easy shots that we didn't make. But, 9 turnovers, and when you go 21 for 55 in the paint, we had a lot of opportunities that we just didn't complete. And along with the turnovers and the time-made threes, they had only made 3 of them, and all of them were timely. One after a timeout, one after we had scored or made free throws, and we didn't know where our man was, and they hit a 3 in the corner, and then we switched, and then we went to help and left the guy open in the 3 in the corner in front of our bench. So those 3 threes were huge, and just not executing.
Different look to the lineup down the stretch there. What was just your thought process?
We needed some energy. Before we had the 15-point lead, we were really dragging. And I thought Corey Jefferson did an outstanding job, and Bogey came in and made a couple of shots that really got us energized, and we increased the lead. I thought I was trying to lead the group as long as we could, and when we made some subs, and we just didn't make enough plays.
Was energy just the biggest reason why Joe didn't get in until late in the fourth?
Yeah, I mean, Corey was doing such a nice job. I kept Corey in the game. I had Thaddeus and Joe on the bench. And that's why we have 12 players on the roster that can play, and you're just trying to find a way to win the game.
And what was your thought process with the lineup you had out there for the final play of regulation? Jack ended up taking that jump.
I was going to spread the court when I'm going to pick him up. And we did. We got a good shot. He just missed it.
Lionel, for all the improvements you guys have made, obviously, since the break, I guess closing games has kind of been a struggle. Why has that been the case for this team?
Got to make plays. Got to defend, rebound, and you got to make plays on offense.
Are these last 2 games the kind of games you hope you don't look back on if you guys aren't able to make the playoffs?
I'm not going to say what I've heard other coaches say. We're just trying to go out and play and win. I mean, we want to make the playoffs, but you have to beat teams on your home court, and you have to close out games on your home court. You got to do positive things consistently before you can be a playoff team. And we haven't been consistent yet all year long. We've been hanging around, but we haven't been able to close games when we needed to.
You talked about it a little bit already, but just how much has Corey grown, particularly over these last couple of
Corey
months?
had a great game tonight. He's been playing well. All of our young guys, Markel has grown, Bogey's grown, even Sergey, who's not getting to play much, they've all grown and become better basketball players. We've put in a lot of work. As I've said before, John Welch has done a great job of being there for those guys before and after practice, and they put in the time.
Last question. Lionel, you guys have been playing a lot of minutes off your bench. Jared has 31 tonight, Brooke 36. With the way things have gone, in the last couple of weeks with you guys going to the new starting lineup, are you considering switching up the lineup again, maybe trying to find something else that works out of the gate?
Well, we played well out of the gate many times, so that's not one of our issues.
Okay, thank you.
Kind of walk us through. You guys have a 15-point lead with about 5 to go. What you saw start to unravel there?
I mean, they picked up their defense, and we got good shots. It was just a lid on the basket. Sometimes players and teams go through spurts like that where we can't make shots, everything's just rattling in and out. But like I said, they picked up their defense and they walked us down. And, they play every possession like it was their last.
You guys have played small, but real small, and you played the 5 a lot down there. How did you feel like that matchup was working, or just that lineup was working?
I think it was a good lineup. We matched up with those guys. They took their bigger guys out of the game, and I think they had the Morris twins in at the 4 and 5 spot, so we had to match up with those guys because they started trying to take advantage of us a little bit. But it was a good matchup, and I think we fared good. We just didn't make shots.
I know you haven't been with the team for long, but does it surprise you that a guy like Joe Johnson and the presence he has on the floor and his playmaking ability wasn't on the court for pretty much the entire fourth, and especially that last play?
I mean, you know, we had a lot of different guys that were playing. We feel that anybody can go out there and make plays at any given time. So, it is what it is. But like I said, we have a lot of different guys that can go out there and make plays. So it's not about Joe. It's not about me or anybody else. It's about us going out there and just following and executing the play, which is going out there and playing as a team.
A couple times this season, but to have a lead like that and let it slip stretch out, how tough is that to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of deja vu for us. We've had several games like that where we had control of the game and we just didn't put it away.
What was it about what they were doing down the stretch in the fourth quarter that was able to kind of bottle up you guys' offense regulation?
We got stagnant, I thought throughout the game. It's not like they came out here and just hung a whole bunch of points on us. We played well defensively. We just had, we couldn't score. I couldn't score. We had a lid on the basket for a big part of the game where, we were missing layups and tip-ins and, pretty much everything around the basket.
I'm surprised at that Joe didn't play pretty much the entire fourth quarter, especially that final play of the game.
Yeah, I guess so. You would think Joe would be out there in those situations, but coach has to go with what he feels like. I'm sure he has an explanation for it, and so as professionals, that's what we got to live with.
Does it feel is that kind of a hopeless feeling when you're out there, like you said, things are stagnant, and just kind of slowly creeping back in there on those final few minutes?
Yeah, we couldn't. We just kind of stopped our flow of the game. We ran sometimes, and we picked up the pace, the tempo, and then sometimes it was just like the ball was sticking and we were stagnant. And so, when we play like that, it's not a secret. We're not a great team.
These last two games, kind of games you hope they'll come back to bite you in the playoff race?
Definitely. I mean, these are important games. These are two bad losses at home where, we didn't think that we would play like this. So one thing I can say is, put it behind us, and we got another one on Sunday, and then this is a really big game for us.
Dan, can you talk about your decision to wear the X, the ended movement T-shirt at the beginning of the game?
Yeah, I had worn X a couple years back, and I really didn't know much about it. I mean, I kind of knew what it was, but then Kyle Korver, he texted me about a week ago and told me he had got involved in it in Atlanta. I think that's where it started, and it's to raise awareness for slavery, that still exists today, and human trafficking, sex trafficking, and I watched some videos on YouTube about it, and it's really sad. It's really sad, and to think it's happening here, but it's more so in other countries. But to think about a parent losing their kid at an early age and never seeing them again, never knowing where they are, but they're over there, drugged up in a camp, and really have no control over their life, their body, and so it's just kind of to raise awareness for that cause, and to bring light to it.
Did you set up the team?
I'm sure a lot of people don't know that 27,000 people, 27 million, I think I said 1,000 earlier, a million people are slaves, and so that's crazy to think about.
Were you the one that looked like a bunch of guys?
Kyle sent it to, he told me to send a box of stuff, and so I, kind of told the guys what it was about, and of course everybody was on board.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Joe, what was it like for you to be watching a 15-point lead that you guys had during the way in the last 5 minutes of the game?
I was just over there cheering for my teammates. We had a group of guys in there who was playing really well, and I think that was the call to just go with it. I think he felt we could pull it out.
So how much do these two losses sting when you guys look at where you're fighting right now, playoff position and everything else?
They hurt. The Charlotte one was, it was just a bad game, all in one. You just kind of ball it up and throw it away. But, tonight was a game we should have won. We needed this game.
You guys are in such a positive momentum out of the break, these last two. How much does it feel like a setback or maybe take away from some of that confidence?
I don't think it necessarily takes away confidence. You just got to get back to, just playing hard on both ends of the floor. defensively, we can't get stops for some reason, and it's killing us.
How surprised were you that you're a guy that is always out there in crunch time, like one of the biggest crunch time players in the game? I mean, how surprised were you almost sat the whole second half and then the final play too?
I mean, it wasn't that surprising to me. Like I said, I just think he had a group of guys in there who was playing well, and he felt they could pull it out. I was just over there being a great teammate, just cheering the guys on.